Hello and welcome back to another episode of Injustice For All MMA. My name is David, and this episode is for UFC Fight Night, Dern versus Rodriguez. Alright, we say it every week, it's a consistent thing. No injustices. The point of this show is actually starting to lose value now, because the whole point was, man, the judges are terrible. We're going to set it straight. Well, they've officially mastered the apex. I think that's what it is. I think I'm going to call it that. Is they've officially mastered the apex. Now, we'll wait till things get fully back to normal and we're back in front of crowds, and then we can start we got this decision wrong and they got this decision wrong. But other than that, the apex is undefeated. No, that's not true. The apex is getting better, and now we just have we're just getting into the flow of things. We haven't had an injustice in weeks. In weeks, I'm telling you. The only issues, I guess, now are just scorecards, and they're not even like the first one I'm going to mention here. It's not even that serious, actually. But some of them, and one for me too. There might be a mishap for me too, but still, things are looking a lot better, to the point where I really like scoring these cards now. There's not like some fuck ups here or there. They're straightforward. Even tonight I was kind of surprised because when I was scoring the Dern versus Rodriguez fight, in the middle of the fight, people were saying, "Oh, that second round's a 10-8," and I'm sitting there going, "This bullshit again." And thankfully, none of the judges did it. I thought that was amazing. None of the judges did it. I thought that was wonderful. They knew what was up. They understood they understood that you don't 10-8 there. So I'm really happy about that. I was really happy they got a lot of things right. But let's start off with the first thing. Straight into the honorable mentions. First honorable mention is Rosa versus Jackson. First one is Rosa versus Jackson. And my scorecard is 29-28 for Jackson. I gave the first two rounds at 10-9 for him, and the last at 10-9 for Rosa. The judges, on the other hand, two of the judges, Mike Bell and Dave Hagen, had it the same way I had it. But Adelaide Bird had it 30-27 for Jackson. Now, usually this is the part where I go, all right, honorable mention for Adelaide Bird. But while I think her scorecard is wrong, not her entire score, while I think her third round scorecard is wrong, it's not a bad scorecard, actually, because in that third round, Jackson got 3 takedowns. Now, he got 3 takedowns, but the only difference is, yes, the giant cut. Obviously, I guess that's the thing. But I want you to eliminate the giant cut for a second. Let's pretend the giant cut isn't there. The giant elbow, excuse me, that cut open Jackson. You go back to that mindset of Rosa is active from the bottom and on the fence. He's active. He's active throughout the entire third round, just punching and punching and punching and punching and punching and punching and punching. Even if you take away that elbow, you could still argue he wins that fight, because when Jackson gets him to the ground, Jackson is doing nothing. I mean, if I remember correctly, he delivered little to no ground and pound on the bottom. Now, obviously, that's because of the blood pouring out of his head, but no ground and pound. Zero from him. Almost zero. So that's my rationale for giving Rosa the third round. But Adelaide gave it to Jackson because of the 3 takedowns. I'm not mad at it. But I won't give her the honorable mention because I don't think that's bad. I think you can argue it in Jackson's favor a little bit there. But yeah, second honorable mention is Gutierrez versus Colares. Now here's where I'm going to get a little bit salty in it. I had it 29-28 for Gutierrez, with a 10-9 in the second and the third for Gutierrez. This was a split D, so Mike Bell had it. And when I read these, I was a little confused a little bit. Mike Bell had it 30-27. Saul D'Amato had it 30-27. And I'm going to stop right there because I want to get to those two. The first round, I don't want to say it's the first round was very close on the feet, but it's obvious that Colares was pushing the pace and was much more active and landed more shots. Okay, so I think 100% that first round went to Colares. So off the top here, it's not a super big honorable mention, but it's a little bit. I think Mike Bell and Saul D'Amato's first round scorecards are wrong. But it doesn't matter because the rightful winner won. Here's where we get into I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? We go to Rick Winter, who had it for Colares, 29-28. He gave the first to Colares. I thought that was correct. And then he gives the second to Colares. Now, that's confusing. Okay, given that in the second, Gutierrez outstrikes Colares. It's not, you could replay it 40 times. He outstrikes Colares. I don't get what he saw there. That's an honorable mention for Rick Winter. This shouldn't have been a split D at all. Technically all three of them get honorable mentions, but it's really Rick Winter. Third honorable mention, I'm going to give it to me. Now, this one is for Brown versus Gooden. I had it 29-28 Brown, with a 10-9 for Brown in the last two rounds. I will explain, as I always do when I give myself an honorable mention. In that first round, it was very close, with Brown landing some big shots, but Gooden essentially outstriking Brown. With a couple of shots and mostly leg kicks, really. Again, I think I'm right. I'm not going to do this thing where I go, oh, I think I'm right. No, obviously I think I'm right. I think that Gooden outstruck Brown in that first and won that round. Brown took off in that round and Gooden won on my scorecard. Obviously, it's a little different. I can't give the three judges an honorable mention, but I still kind of want to. Even though, but I can't because they all agreed that Brown won that first round. I disagree. It was close. I did put a close marker on this one, so you can go either way. Honestly, that's why I put the close marker on it. But I still think that Gooden won that round. Obviously, all the three judges disagree with me, so it's fair that I just give myself an honorable mention for that round. Other than that, everything went pretty well. All the scorecards match completely. There's nothing else to do. We wait for next week where there will be a crap ton more fights, but yeah, I think that's all for tonight. Once again, thank you for listening, and God bless.